Have you ever found yourself in the presence of someone who seems unnerved by your strength or unwavering confidence? It's possible you've crossed paths with a narcissist. When they sense they can't break you down, they will often resort to a series of calculated and manipulative tactics. These strategies are designed not only to undermine your self-worth, but also to regain the control they feel slipping away. Knowledge is power, and by understanding these tactics, you can arm yourself against their emotional games. Let's dive into the 9 ways narcissists behave when they feel threatened by your strength and confidence. Gaslighting and deflection, the narcissist's favorite weapons. Picture this: you're having an honest conversation with a narcissist about something they've done that hurt you. Instead of taking responsibility or engaging in meaningful dialogue, they abruptly shift the focus away from the issue at hand. This is known as deflection. The narcissist is so adept at manipulating conversations that they often make you feel as though the problem isn't even real or relevant. But deflection is only one part of their arsenal. The other weapon, and perhaps the most insidious, is gaslighting. Gaslighting is a psychological manipulation that makes you question your very perception of reality. You might recall an event or conversation one way, only for the narcissist to insist it unfolded entirely differently. They might say things like, "That never happened," or "You're just being overly sensitive." The aim is to make you second-guess your memory, emotions, and sanity. Both deflection and gaslighting serve a crucial purpose for the narcissist control. By redirecting blame and creating self-doubt, they can keep you in a constant state of confusion and insecurity. This is exactly what they need to prevent you from realizing your true strength and standing up for yourself. The good news is, once you recognize these tactics, you become far less susceptible to their manipulation. The next time you find yourself at the receiving end of gaslighting or deflection, take a step back, trust your instincts, and don't let them control the narrative. Stand tall in your truth and let your strength remain unshaken. The art of belittling and undermining tactics of narcissistic control. Have you ever encountered someone who seems to downplay your achievements, abilities, or even your personal worth? When a person deliberately minimizes your accomplishments or traits, it isn't just criticism, it's a calculated attempt to make you feel small, unworthy, or insignificant. This behavior, which is often cloaked in sarcasm or dismissive comments, is characteristic of the narcissist's need to maintain control and dominance over others. They thrive on making you feel inferior so they can maintain their self-perception of superiority. However, there's an even darker side to this manipulation: undermining. While belittling may feel like an occasional jab, undermining is much more insidious. It goes beyond the casual insult, attacking your sense of self-worth in a deeply subtle yet persistent manner. A narcissist might systematically sabotage your efforts, spread false information about you, or continuously find fault in everything you do. The aim is clear: to erode your confidence and leave you doubting yourself. By doing so, they seek to reinforce their control, reminding you that they are the one in charge. But how should you respond to this covert form of abuse? First and foremost, it's essential to recognize these tactics for what they truly are: manipulative attempts to destabilize you and assert dominance. Don't let the narcissist's words and actions overshadow your own value. Your achievements, no matter how big or small, are worthy of praise. Remember this truth: they are trying to diminish you because they feel threatened by your potential. Stand firm, for your worth is not defined by their distorted view of you. Projection of insecurities: how narcissists shift the blame. We all have our insecurities, our weaknesses, and the personal challenges that we strive to overcome. This is part of being human. However, narcissistic individuals cope with their inner turmoil in a way that is particularly harmful to others by projecting their flaws and fears onto you. Rather than confronting their own vulnerabilities, they deflect attention away from their shortcomings by accusing you of the very things that they themselves are struggling with. For instance, if a narcissist feels insecure about their own capabilities, they may accuse you of being inadequate or of failing in ways that they themselves fear. If you project confidence or seem to be succeeding in an area where they feel threatened, they might criticize or belittle you as a way to deflect attention from their own feelings of inadequacy. In their eyes, you become the perfect scapegoat for their self-doubt and insecurities. So, how do you handle this kind of emotional manipulation? The most important thing to remember is that you are not responsible for carrying the weight of someone else's fears or shortcomings. You have your own life, your own journey, and your own challenges to navigate. Don't let their projection of insecurities pull you down. It's their issue to deal with, not yours. Jealousy, sabotage, and the narcissist's need for control. Narcissists thrive on validation, but their sense of self-worth is precariously tied to how others, especially those they are close to, perceive and relate to them. The moment they sense a threat to this fragile ego, like discovering that you are forming bonds with someone else, they spiral into irrational jealousy. This isn't just a fleeting emotion for them, it becomes an obsessive fixation. The more you withdraw, the more they feel the need to tighten their grip. It's here that manipulation takes a darker turn. Narcissists will often resort to passive-aggressive behavior, bombarding you with cryptic texts designed to keep you on edge, questioning whether reconciliation is possible. But the emotional manipulation doesn't stop there. Sabotage is another devious tool in their arsenal. Whether subtly or blatantly, narcissists will undermine your reputation, disrupt your progress, or actively work to block your achievements. From slandering you to fostering conflict with others, their goal is always the same: regain control and reassert their superiority. They want to be the central figure in your life, the only one who holds your attention. But don't be fooled. These actions aren't a reflection of your flaws or weaknesses. They stem from the narcissist's own deep-seated insecurities and envy. The idea that you can succeed without their influence terrifies them, and so they sabotage your path forward. It's essential to remember that the narcissist's actions reflect their inability to gracefully accept your growth or accomplishments, not any deficiency on your part. Hold firm and protect your own emotional and mental space from their toxic influence. The deceptive art of triangulation. If you're confused about why certain relationships feel so emotionally draining, you may have encountered the narcissist's favorite manipulation tactic: triangulation. This strategy involves the narcissist introducing a third party into a relationship to create a rift between you and others, be it a partner, a friend, or even a family member. Imagine this: you're already emotionally invested in someone, and the narcissist, with calculated precision, inserts someone else into the equation. This isn't about fostering healthy relationships, it's about sowing seeds of insecurity, jealousy, and mistrust. The narcissist thrives on conflict, and triangulation is their weapon of choice to keep the dynamics fractured. By positioning themselves as the middleman, they manipulate the flow of communication and control the narrative. This tactic ensures that the narcissist remains the focal point, all while you are left second-guessing your connection with the third party. Worse yet, triangulation often creates an environment of competition. The narcissist will pit you against the other person, making unfair comparisons, highlighting your perceived shortcomings, and encouraging rivalry. The end result? Doubt creeps into your mind, and your self-worth is chipped away, leaving you vulnerable to their domination. Hoovering and love bombing: the narcissist's emotional whiplash. Have you ever been on an emotional roller coaster with someone? 1 minute, they're showering you with love and attention, making you feel like the most important person in their world. Then, without warning, they withdraw, leaving you confused, hurt, and desperately seeking their approval. This chaotic push-pull dynamic is known as hoovering and love bombing, two classic tactics narcissists use to manipulate and control those they target. These tactics are designed to ensnare you in an emotional trap, where you feel both overwhelmed by affection and terrified of abandonment. The narcissist alternates between these extremes to keep you hooked, feeding on your emotional vulnerability. The love-bombing phase lures you in, making you feel cherished and desired, but just as you begin to feel safe, they vanish. When they return, it's usually with a mixture of guilt and charm, creating a cycle where you feel both loved and unworthy all at once. This back and forth becomes a powerful tool in their control tactics, as they constantly make you question your self-worth and cling to their validation. But here's the crucial thing: both hoovering and love bombing are part of the narcissist's effort to keep you in a toxic, emotionally unstable relationship. By creating emotional highs and lows, they establish dominance over your feelings and keep you tethered to their whims. The key to breaking free from this cycle is awareness. Recognizing these tactics for what they are allows you to regain control over your emotions and your life, protecting your mental health from further damage. Silent treatment and discarding a cruel tactic of control. Imagine for a moment being in a relationship with a narcissist, and without warning, they suddenly go silent. They stop responding to your calls, your texts essentially. They vanish from your life, leaving you in a painful, suffocating void. This is the silent treatment, a calculated, insidious method designed to strip you of your self-worth, making you feel invisible and desperate for their validation. It's not just about not speaking to you, it's about manipulating your emotions, creating a deep sense of anxiety and insecurity that leaves you questioning your value and place in their world. The narcissist's intention is crystal clear: to make you feel small and unimportant. When they withdraw, they discard the emotional connection you once shared, treating you like an expendable object, a mere tool in their game. By cutting you off emotionally and communicatively, they regain control over your emotions, leaving you in a state of turmoil, craving the affection and attention that once came effortlessly. But here's the crucial part: you must refuse to succumb to this toxic manipulation. Yes, it's incredibly difficult, and the longing for connection can be overwhelming, but it's essential to realize that they cannot and will not give you the emotional comfort you deserve. True healing comes from within. In fact, the best thing you can do for yourself is to reclaim your power, even if it means severing all ties with them completely. Take time to reconnect with who you are, rediscover your identity, and heal. Your self-worth should never depend on their empty approval. Exploitation and manipulation, narcissists' weapon of control. Brace yourself, because the next truth may be uncomfortable, but it is essential to understand. To a narcissist, manipulation and exploitation are as vital as air itself. These individuals are masters of control, weaving a complex web of tactics designed to bend your reality and shape your actions according to their needs. Their goal is simple: to dominate you, to keep you under their thumb, and to ensure that everything revolves around their whims and desires. Let's first look at manipulation, the primary weapon in their arsenal. Narcissists are expert manipulators, skilled at twisting your words, emotions, and perceptions to serve their own purposes. They don't care about your well-being or feelings, they only care about maintaining a power dynamic that keeps you subjugated. From guilt-tripping to gaslighting, they will stop at nothing to manipulate you into doing their bidding, all while making you question your own thoughts and emotions. Then comes exploitation, perhaps the most insidious aspect of their behavior. To a narcissist, you are not a person with your own needs and desires, you are merely a tool, a resource to be used for their gain. Whether it's your time, your energy, your skills, or your finances, they will take without a second thought, offering nothing in return. Your value to them is measured solely by how much you can give, how much you can serve their needs, and when that no longer serves them, you are discarded, just like the silent treatment. But here's the most important thing to remember: you are worthy of respect, kindness, and fairness. Do not allow the narcissist's twisted behavior to make you question your worth or accept the violation of your boundaries. You have the power to stand up, to take control of your life again, and to escape their toxic grasp. You are strong, capable, and deserving of a life free from manipulation and exploitation. Hold on to that truth as you embark on the journey to reclaim your peace, your self-respect, and your freedom from the emotional chains they've bound you with. In summary, narcissists use the silent treatment and discarding as ways to manipulate and control, making you feel invisible and unworthy, while also exploiting you for their selfish gain. It's important to recognize these tactics for what they are: methods of emotional control that are ultimately about preserving the narcissist's power and dominance. But remember, you do not have to be a victim. The journey to reclaim your self-worth and break free from their influence begins with recognizing your own value and taking action to protect your emotional well-being. You deserve so much more than the empty promises and toxic games they play. Playing the victim, a narcissist's favorite weapon. You've probably encountered it before: the classic victim card, a favorite tactic employed by narcissists. But why is this so powerful, and why do narcissists cling to it? At its core, playing the victim is one of the most effective ways for a narcissist to manipulate and control those around them. By casting themselves as the injured party, they skillfully divert attention away from their own wrongdoings and avoid taking any responsibility for their actions. In this role, they not only escape the consequences of their behavior, but also gain a subtle yet dangerous form of control over the emotions and reactions of others. This strategy allows the narcissist to play on people's natural empathy and desire to protect others. They portray themselves as fragile, hurt, or misunderstood, which makes it incredibly difficult for anyone to challenge them or even consider that they might be in the wrong. This manipulation fosters confusion and doubt, leaving their targets feeling guilty, uncertain, or even responsible for the narcissist's perceived pain. So how can we effectively deal with this insidious tactic? The key lies in establishing and maintaining strong, unwavering boundaries. It's essential not to be swayed by their dramatic stories of victimhood. Don't allow them to draw you into their emotional web or make you feel guilty for their struggles, especially when they are using those struggles as a shield to deflect accountability. It's crucial to prioritize your emotional well-being and stay grounded in the truth of the situation. Instead of getting caught up in their narrative, focus on nurturing connections and activities that empower you, things that help reinforce your sense of self and align with your values. In the long run, the most effective way to protect yourself from a narcissist's manipulation is by strengthening your sense of identity and cultivating a life that is free from their toxic influence. If you've already learned how narcissists react to your strength, you're on the right path. For even more insights, dive deeper into the alarming tactics they use to pull you back into their web, or discover proven methods to shut down their manipulation once and for all. Remember, knowledge is power. Take control of your narrative and protect your peace.